Good morning, YouTubers. It is April 16th, 2013, 11:04 a.m. Sorry about that. Up here in Northeast Ohio, it's 57 degrees, but it's raining. It's been raining all day. Oh, thunderstorms. Pretty much all morning. Um, I've been online. I've been up since, around a little before 8 o'clock this morning. Somewhere between 7 and 8. And of course that's Eastern time. Um, and, I've been, honestly, and I know I'm going to get scoffed at, and I know by who, but I've been listening to worship music. Worship music. Um, but honestly, a lot of it that I was listening to was going along with what was said last night and what was said yesterday, Pastor. And, alright, I've had a blockage that I didn't really realize I had. I haven't really forgiven myself for my daughter yet. But I gotta go back to when I was younger. I was about 12 years, somewhere between 12 and 14 years old. And I was babysitting my sister's daughters. And they're the ones that only really gave me the problems, those two girls. But they were really, really bad. And I made the mistake of saying, I never want any daughters. Please, dear Lord, I never want any daughters. I only want one son. I only want one boy, and I only want him to be an all boy. I have a daughter, May 10th, May 9th. She's going to be 18 years old. I have a daughter, June 19th, who's going to be 17 years old. I have a daughter on the 13th of April who just turned 13 years old. I was younger. I did not think about, back then I wasn't thinking, I was rebelling hard, right? I was rebelling against everything, and I was not ready for those kids. At the same time, though, with the last one, the 13-year-old, I was pregnant with Melissa. And those older three are in Pennsylvania. We're in Ohio. Those older three, I gave up I legally signed them over. They did not take them from me. I signed my rights up so that it did not look, as bad. Giving them up looks a lot better than, them taking. My oldest daughter was really mentally retarded. The one that's turning 18, she was really bad. The 17-year-old and the 13-year-old are together. They are doing wonderfully. I know the mother. I know where those girls are. I don't know her personally, but she was nice enough to call me after they took Sabrina and let me know that she had her. And there is a little bit of an age gap between them because, as I said, the 17-year-old is, um, and the 13-year-old. So, um, but they know they're sisters, and they know that they are true sisters, um, which is amazing. And they are doing amazing in school. And I have no regrets or nothing about those three. I gave them up willingly. Nothing. There's no hurt feelings, nothing. Um, with the 13-year-old, when I got the phone call, I was also informed that it would be they could not take they couldn't take Melissa if I hurried up and signed off my rights. But if I was still fighting for Sabrina while I had, and if I gave birth to Melissa because the case was open, they could take Melissa, even though I was in a different state. Well, I was lied to, I was tricked, but it doesn't matter. I just put that in just to let you know. And what had happened. See, and then I'm telling my whole history here. This is a point to watch what the hell comes out of your mouth. I mean, you never know what is meant to happen in the future, and what comes out of your mouth may very well screw you in the future. And last night that conversation came up, and alright, so now with Melissa, I raised her for almost 11 years. She is 11 years old now. And she went to my mom July of last year, so 10 and a half years. 10 and 3/4 years. Whatever. But we were going to leave last year and go down to, when taxes came back and moved down to West Virginia. And I mean, we had a nice tax return last year and everything. And we were going to leave last year and everything, and we could have. We had everything, perfect. And Missy ended up going into the hospital. I ended up having you need emergency surgery fake scare, and which Melissa ended up in the hospital twice. She ended up into one that sucked and didn't do nothing for her, and then she ended up back into her normal one. And then we had that incident where the summer where I took her to mom's, and then I asked mom to, because it was still during that time where they told me I was supposed to have emergency surgery, and we were waiting for the results to come back and everything. And I mean, I still have to be careful, because if I move too quickly, or I mean, it's not bad, but if we get into a car accident or something, I could be paralyzed. If I fall wrong, I can be paralyzed. If somebody hits me, I could be paralyzed. It's something like that. So I mean, it's not like, well, why didn't you go and get her back after that? I still have, you know, I still have to worry about, well, I could become paralyzed. Well, why do you worry about that? Because when Melissa has her outbursts, she becomes violent. Well, what does that have to do with it? Sh- well, if she hits me and paralyzes me, I don't want that on her conscience for the rest of her life, idiot. That's why. Because she's bipolar, ADHD, ODD, MRDD. And ODD is oppositional defiancy disorder. MRDD, bipolar, ADHD. Wrapped up in a little girl that just turned 11 years old that at any time can have her hormones switched from off to on. Yeah, her health conditions, mental wise, my physical health conditions, what, I did the best thing. It was the best thing that a mother could do for her as far as health conditions and that. And that is the reason as far as health goes. I didn't want Misty to feel, oh my god, I paralyzed my mom, she can't do nothing. I didn't want her to, and then what would happen after that? Could you imagine that? Would you want that? Think about that. Just think about that and let it sit in your head. Because, as you see the time-wise, this is where it's going to end for this one, for now. But I will continue because this is God's work. This is what He wants me to do. This is why I was not. I had Matthew pulled up, amplified. I had it in the King James pulled up. I was ready to do them. God said, no, you're not. Go listen to your music. I was like, okay. And then I broke down bawling, and then he said, this, and I got another whole page, and yeah, so, there's more. This could be a 3. Oops, sorry. This could be a 3B. So, but yeah, I think about that. Your daughter comes running at you and you fall on your back. And that's it. That's all that happens. But if she pushes you over on your back and you land just right on any one of those 3 slip discs, yeah, I have them in the neck, in the lumbar, or in the thoracic, and in the lumbar. All 3 areas. Yeah, I'm like totally. But that's from the fall, and I had a horse accident before that where I landed straight down on my head, like this. I mean, I'm not kidding. You can ask Douglas. I mean, they all thought that I was going to be paralyzed then, but by the grace of God, I wasn't. So, I mean, I'm walking proof that, God has purpose for everybody because I'm still walking. Because I shouldn't be, honestly. Because I've been on my head I don't know how many times. So, but I shall return, my brothers and sisters. Peace be with you. God bless. I love you guys so very much. Watch for part 2. It is coming.